All right, everyone. Today we will be completing Lesson 3 in Booklet 7. This lesson is called More Complex Perimeters. You do not need any of your reference sheet for today's lesson. You just need the lesson itself and the homework that is after. So in this lesson, we are working with slightly different shapes, some shapes which you may not even have a name for, right? Because they're so oddly put together. We call these irregular shapes. Now, when calculating the perimeter of irregular shapes, the process is generally the same. Remember, the perimeter is just the distance all the way around a shape, so you need to take each of the sides and add them together. Now, sometimes this is fairly easy, like on the two examples on my screen, I give you every single side length. So what that means is I just need to take each of the numbers that I see above and add them together, such as 5 plus 8 plus 6 plus 10, which gives me a sum of 29 centimeters. In the second shape, we just have some more numbers, such as, and I'm going to start from here and work my way around, 4 plus 8 plus 8 plus 4 plus 13 plus 5 plus 13. Now you might want to use a calculator for a shape with many sides like this. I'm going to quickly do this in my head, so give me 2 seconds. And that's going to give us 55 meters. So not so bad. The problem will come when you find irregular shapes that look like this. These kinds of irregular shapes don't have all the sides given to you. What you need to use is context clues, meaning the sides of the shape that you are given, to calculate the sides of the shape that you are not. For example, in our first shape, we're given these sides that I'm highlighting in blue, but we're not given these sides that I'm highlighting in red. Let's talk about how we might find all of the sides before we add them together. Let's begin with this tiny side right here in red. Now, when you're finding the length of an unknown side, what I want you to do is use the other sides that are parallel to it. What do I mean when I say parallel? Multiple sides are parallel to each other when they run in the same direction. Now, in this diagram, you can see that these two lines which I'm highlighting blue run in the same direction that I'm highlighted in red. That means that they're all parallel to each other. These are the side lengths in blue that are going to help us find the side length in red. Let me show you how. So this side on the very left is 30 centimeters. Now, if I was just to extend that over a bit, that means that this side, which is green, logically is also 30 centimeters. Now we need to find red. And the green line is way too large to be the same length as red. But if we were to cut out everything underneath here, you can see on the diagram that this, what would be left, is the same length as our red. So the idea is that we're going to take the 30 centimeters and we're going to subtract the 25 centimeters again that I crossed out in green. And 30 minus 25 is equal to 5 centimeters. Now, since both of these red lines are the same length, I can also conclude that this guy at the very end is 5 centimeters. My screen is pretty busy, but hopefully you get the idea on how we can subtract sides in order to find missing side lengths. For some people, this will come easily. For some people, this will take a few tries, so make sure that you're practicing and letting me know if you have any questions. Let's take a look at our other side length that we're missing. This one I'm going to highlight in, let's make that purple. This one I'm going to highlight in purple. Now we don't know what the side length is, and in order to help us, we're going to find other side lengths that are parallel, other side lengths that are running in the same direction. That's this blue line at the top and this blue line at the bottom, both run in the same direction. Again, that means that they're going to help us. Let's start with the large blue line, the one that is 25 centimeters. That line is longer than purple, so we know that purple is going to be less than 25 centimeters. Well, how much less? Let's see. If I was to bring this blue line down a bit, it would span from the very left all the way to the very right. Now, again, that is too large. If only I could cut out this bit right here in green, it would be the same length. And I can do that because I know that this green length is 5 centimeters. The same as the parallel line below. Just the width of this gap right here is 5 centimeters. So that means that if I take the 25 and I subtract 5, I'm left with a length that is 20 centimeters long. So, using the two sides in blue and subtracting them, we get the purple side. Now we've calculated all of our side lengths. So we can add them together. 25 plus 5 plus 20 plus 25 plus 5 plus 30. And this gives us a total perimeter of 30, 50, 60, 75, 80 of 110 centimeters long. Let's try this one more time with example B. Some parts of example B are similar to A, but some are different. Let's start with what's the same. And that is this missing side that I'm highlighting in red right now. Now I'm going to try and solve this problem without drawing as much on the screen, so try to follow along with me. Like example A, we can use subtraction to find this red length. We can use subtraction with the two sides that are running in the same direction, that are parallel. I'm going to take the long blue side, which is 60 yards. That runs the entire length of the shape, except I'm going to cut out what I don't want. And what I don't want is these 30 yards. I know it's 30 yards because it's the same length as the small blue line above. So, in other words, 60 minus 30 gives me the length of this side, which is 30 yards. So hopefully that makes sense, but please make sure you're being careful because you're not always using subtraction. Please consider this other missing side, which I'm now highlighting in purple. Now, this missing side is parallel to the blue lines which I'm drawing now. Those are the lines that are going to help you. But it's pretty obvious in this shape that purple is larger than both of the blues. So subtraction is not going to help us. We need to get bigger. What we're actually going to use here is addition, right? This dotted blue line that I'm drawing now is 40 yards long. I know because it's the same length as the blue line that's to the left of it. We can see they cover the same gap. Now, purple is the same length as this dotted blue line plus this solid blue line that's underneath. So if I take the 40 yards and I add the 20 yards that are underneath it, I find that this purple length is 60 yards long. So now that I have all the side lengths, I add them together, starting from the top and moving to the right, moving in a clockwise motion, we call that. That would be 60 plus 60 plus 30 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 yards. Doing some mental math or using a calculator, but I know everybody in this class is capable of using mental math for this. That would be 120, 150, 170, 200, 240 yards total. Perfect. So those ones can be pretty tricky. Take your time and make sure that you're asking me if you have any questions. Take some time now to complete the next 2 pages, which are both your worksheet. One with those L shapes with the missing side, and the other just has irregular shapes where I give you all the sides. Thank you.